You're ready.
Okay. Good afternoon, ladies. I'm Lisa Merkel, and I am your 2025 ASG Mystery Quilt leader this year again. You're stuck with me for another year. We decided to do something a little different this year. We're still going to have our quilt in 2 different sizes, but we're doing something different on the fabric requirements. Instead of just sending you an email with the printed fabric requirements, I'm going to show you what I have picked out myself for the large mystery quilt this year, so it gives you a little better idea when we're talking about our fabrics and our contrasting fabrics. What I picked out was a package of 10-inch squares, layer cake, whatever you want to call it. And this is Moda Fabrics. I kind of like my Modas. It is Wild Iris by Moda. Okay, it has, this quilt is fashioned for prints. I know a lot of times we get prints and we love them, and then we don't want to cut them because we're afraid we're going to lose our print of the fabric in a quilt when you cut them down to 2-inch squares or strips or whatever. So this has some large prints in it. You can see I'm going with the purples, and there's some, it's kind of hard to see. There's some solids, there's some smaller prints. But it's fashioned for some larger prints that you wouldn't want to cut your fabric. So you're going to use 1 package of 10-inch print squares, or if you're going to cut from your stash, you're going to want 40 10-inch squares of larger, smaller, it doesn't really matter, but of prints. And then we're going to need 1.5 yards of a dark accent fabric. And I have chosen the dark purple to go with the purple that is in this layer cake. So it's a dark.
Pick up both of them. There you go.
It is a dark.
There you go.
Contrast fabric. And there's a reason that you want to go dark with this and don't do a light for your accent fabric. But I won't tell you because then I'll give away what the mystery is. Then we're going to want to do 3.25 yards of a light background fabric, which includes an inner border. And what I did with this is this is my light. It is a cream and not a white, but I tried to match the cream in the background of my prints. So that's why we went with the light cream, which will go with this dark purple accent. Okay, so that is 3.25 yards of the light, and then 1 3/4 yards of outer border fabric. I picked out a print that is part of my 10-inch squares. So I went through and found something that I thought would appeal to me for the background. And you can see that little bit there. That is one of my 10-inch squares, but this is going to be my larger border fabric on the outside of the quilt. Now you need 1 yard for binding. I'm going to bind, since this is going to be my border, I'm going to bind with the purple because this dark purple is going to be in my quilt as an accent, so it'll kind of pull that together a little bit. And then the only thing left that you have to do is your backing, and I haven't worried about my backing fabric yet. That'll come when I get the quilt top together. But you need 9.25 yards. If you're using regular yardage, you'd need 9.25 yards for backing fabric with a vertical seam. or 3¼ yards of 108 wide fabric. So this quilt should finish out at 100½ by 100½. So it's going to be a large quilt. So that's why I probably will go look and see what I can find for some 108 myself, so that I don't have to piece my backing. But these are the fabrics I'm using. Let me see if I can get them all. Whoops, they're sliding away. See if I can get them all up here together so that you can see my background is here. Here is my 10-inch square fabric. This is my outside border fabric, which is one of the prints that's in here. And then this is my dark accent fabric, and this is also my binding fabric. So that should give you a general idea when we're talking about darks and lights as to what you want to try to pick and match when you pick your fabrics. So everybody, happy shopping. Thank you.